Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a tag video for you today. It is called 5 Luxury Brands That I Do Not Want a Bag From. It was created by With a Touch of Luxury, and I was tagged by my beautiful friend Flo from Flo in the City. So I will link both of their videos down below so you can check them out. So let's just get right into it. I have 5 brands. It was not very difficult for me to pick them, and I'm just going to get probably the most common and most predictable out of the way first, and that of course is Balenciaga. But I do have to preface this by saying that I have never been a big fan of Balenciaga bags. For example, they have 2 bags that really come to mind when you think of the brand. And the first one is the City bag. And the City bag has never appealed to me. The aesthetic is just not something that I would carry. It has a lot of grommets, a lot of buckles and fringes. I'm not a fringe kind of person. And so it's just not my style, and I never really was drawn to it. And more recently is the Hourglass bag, and it has been very, very popular for this past year. But for me, again, I'm not drawn to that bag. I don't find it very attractive. I think it looks kind of weird. It looks very stiff, and it just doesn't appeal to me. So I never would have purchased either of those bags anyway. And now, of course, with that scandalous ad campaign of theirs, really an unforgivable mistake on their part, I certainly will not be buying any bags from Balenciaga, so that just reinforces my feelings about it right from the beginning. The next brand may come as a surprise to some people. There is nothing wrong with this brand per se. They make beautiful jewelry, and the brand is Bulgari. I've sometimes heard it pronounced Bulgari. I'm not really sure which one it is, so I'm just going to stick with Bulgari. And I know that they have a very devoted fan base. I believe that their materials are beautiful, their craftsmanship is beautiful, and all of that. But my problem with Bulgari bags is that I have a terrible fear of snakes, okay? I hate snakes. They give me the creeps, they give me the willies, and their Serpenti bag has a clasp on it that has a snake head, and I'm just not into it. I don't want to think about snakes. I don't want to be reminded of snakes. They even have a bag that has a handle made out of a snake, and oh God, it's not for me, guys. So it may sound a little bit childish, but hey, everyone's entitled to be afraid of something, and I am afraid of snakes, and I don't want any snakes on my bag. So I will not be buying a Bulgari bag at all, ever. The next brand I won't be buying a bag from is Jacquemus. Jacquemus is very, very popular, but I feel like they're popular with more of a younger crowd. And of course, everyone knows them for their Le Chiquito bag, the teeny little tiny bag that looks like a coin purse. And yes, it is adorable. However, it's about as useful as a coin purse, except it has a handle on it, which would make it rather difficult to put in your actual bag. And of course, you are meant to carry this. And for me, it's just nonsense. There's nothing that fits in there. Maybe even a lipstick won't fit in there. I just don't know. Itty bitty bags are not my thing. I want my bags to be functional and carry my belongings, and these certainly don't fit the bill. Now, I do know that Jacquemus has made other sizes of them, so they got a little bit bigger and then bigger still. But honestly, I don't really like the shape of the larger ones. It reminds me a little bit of the Hourglass from Balenciaga, which I've just said I don't really like. And so, yeah, Jacquemus is just not for me. Maybe someone younger who, when they are dressing, wants to create a certain look, but honestly, when I am getting ready in the morning, I need a handbag that is going to function, and that is not going to be the one. So I won't be buying a bag from Jacquemus. My 4th brand is Stella McCartney. Now, I love Stella McCartney's designs. I really do admire her outlook, her vegan lifestyle, her dedication to sustainability. But I do have to say that I'm not vegan, and I am someone who really enjoys a good leather bag and even a good leather pair of shoes. And her bags are not made out of leather. They are made out of man-made materials, but for man-made materials, I feel like the prices are quite high. So they're all over $1,000 or in and around that $1,000 range, and some even go quite a bit up from there. And to me, that's an awful lot of money to pay for a bag that is essentially man-made materials. Also, I have had some bad luck in the past with some faux leathers from other designer brands. Case in point, I bought a pair of rather expensive shoes from a brand. I thought they were real leather, but after about 2 or 3 wearings, I realized that they probably weren't. And in fact, I verified it with the tag on the box, and I realized that I had bought faux leather shoes instead of real leather shoes. And they really made a difference. They were very uncomfortable. My feet were sweaty and burny, and it was just a bad experience all the way around. And then I also had a bag that was a designer bag as well, that was faux leather, and again, cracking, peeling in the seams. And so these materials did not really stand the test of time. They really didn't wear well, and so for that reason, I probably will not be purchasing any Stella McCartney bags because I don't feel like I'd be getting my money's worth with them. And the last brand that I will not be buying a bag from is Versace. So Versace, they have a very distinct style. For me, sometimes I feel like they're hovering right on the edge of gaudy, and then sometimes they just, plummet over the cliff and crash land below. So I'm not really a huge fan of the Versace aesthetic anyway. And if you take a look at their bags, you probably know where I'm going with this, but they all have Medusa heads on them. And in case you don't know, Medusa was a Greek goddess or a monster from Greek mythology who actually had snakes on her head instead of hair. It just, again, it gives me the willies, it gives me the creeps, and I know it's silly, but I can't help myself. I just don't want my handbags to remind me of snakes in any way at all. So I will not be buying any Versace handbags with a Medusa head on them. No, thank you. So that is it for my video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, it is a tag video, but I don't know who has done it and who has not. So rather than putting a list of names down below, I'm just going to say, please consider yourself tagged. If you like this topic and you want to do your own tag video, you could say that me, Penelope, tagged you, and that would be just fine. So leave any comments or questions down below. If you have any advice for my fear of snakes, by all means, you can address that as well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again in my next video, guys. Take care.